Hello everyone, this is Megan here with process video number 19. I've got an 8.5 by 11 layout for you today with a picture of my son jumping on the trampoline. And I'm just showing you a bunch of the products that I hope to use up. I don't actually end up using very much. It's a pretty simple layout in the end, but I picked out a bunch of stuff that I was trying to use up from this kit that I made. And I'm using this really bright blue for the background paper. And when I first started this layout, I had no idea at all how I wanted it to look. So right now I'm just trying to see how different papers and things look. And because it is an 8.5 by 11 layout, I decided that I wanted to cut the photo down a bit. So it took up excuse me, a little bit less room on the layout. And I also know that I want to use that cut apart card that says life is better when you laugh. And that came from the Jen Hadfield homemade collection I got from my last haul. So I'm using this blue paper. It's pearlized. I don't know if you can tell in the video, but it is a pearlized paper. And I wanted to use it to map my photo, but I also want to get a couple more layouts out of this kit, so I matted the photo in the middle of the paper so that if I find some photos that will work on that page, I'll be able to use it as a background paper to do a 12 by 12. When I first started out with this, I was thinking that I was probably just going to do blues, but then I brought in this cut apart card, which also came from the same sheet as the other one, and I decided that I wanted to bring the black and white into the layout as well. And I cut those chevron pieces apart so they would take up a little bit bigger space on the page. And this basically is the layout right here. This is what it ends up looking like with embellishments added on at the end. So I think that I go ahead and start gluing things down. Oh, I know I want to put a border at the top and bottom of the page, and I can't find a black and white that's long enough to go across, so I just cut off a piece of this black paper with tiny white polka dots, and I'm trimming it down to 1/2-inch strips. And because my paper cutter is losing its life, I think, I have to trim them up. Every piece that I cut with my paper cutter I have to trim with my scissors because the blade is dull, and it's a pretty new blade. I get about like 10 cuts out of my new blades and then it goes dull again. So I actually just got a new paper trimmer and I'm really excited about it, and I'll show you that in my next haul video. I've already recorded a haul video, so you'll see that once I get it posted. So I'm using those strips and I'm taping them at the top and the bottom of the page to make a border. I love this picture of my son. He's mid-jump on the trampoline, so I like it when you can catch the photos at just the right time. Okay, now that I have the border on the top and the bottom, I think I start taping everything else down. Start with these chevron pieces. And I tried to make sure that the space between would be, like the blue part that was showing between the chevrons would be about the same width as the white and the black parts. And the photo will overlap those pieces just a little bit. And I try to pull in some of these little scraps, but I don't find that anything else is really working. So the rest of the page is strictly embellishments. I don't put any other papers on here. I do use this washi. It's got arrows on it, and one of the arrows is a tan color, and all the other ones are greens and blues. So I cut off the tan colored one. I didn't think it matched with everything. And I'm putting a piece on the top and the bottom. And I saved that tan arrow for later in case I wanted to use it on another layout. I briefly think about using these banner pieces. They're teal and gray and white, and I just don't think that it's going to work, so I start to line them up across the bottom, and I pretty quickly decide, nope, that's not going to work, and put them away. And now I'm looking through some of my other embellishments, especially the stickers. And I pulled off one that said fresh air, I think that one says. And then the other one says, so glad you're mine. And a little heart. I have a mini muffin tin that I have full of just random odds and ends and stuff. Oh, I picked out a teal colored label off there, and now I'm picking out all of my gray and black and white enamel dots. I only end up using the gray ones, but I picked them all out. And you'll see here in a minute this muffin tin I'm going to pull out. It's not part of the kit that I put together, but I pretty much am trying to use up everything that's in it, so if I can, I pull embellishments out of it. There it is. And I have all of these hearts that I cut out from scraps from a paper pad I had a while back. And they're all gray and white and black. So I take all of them out. I know I won't use them all, but I wanted to have a variety to choose from, so I pulled them all out of there. And my camera's going to die in a minute here, I think. Oh, after I get this embellishment cluster in the bottom corner done, my camera dies and then I come back and finish the embellishing. So I'm using my black, it's kind of like a Sharpie. It's one of the markers that comes with the notebooks, the Smash books. And I'm outlining the hearts that I'm going to use on here with that black. And it takes me a minute to get this arranged in a way that I like it, but I finally do. And I use 2 hearts down there in that corner. I love that this layout is very boyish. Even though I did put a lot of hearts on here, it still looks very boyish. And since it's my son, and a lot of the layouts I do of him do have flowers and colors that he probably wouldn't love, but this one is strictly boy, and I really love the way it came out. So I'm putting some of these gray, these are the homemade enamel dots that I made from the perler beads, and I'm putting 3 of those down here in this corner. Okay, and then my camera died and I come back and finish this cluster up in the top corner with just a couple hearts and a couple enamel dots. And I put another embellishment cluster on the bottom left-hand side of the photo, which is what I'm going to work on right now, I think. Got a label there that's gray and white. I thought that matched well with the colors for the layout. And a couple more hearts, a couple more enamel dots, and some journaling, and this layout is pretty much finished. I do put a couple more hearts up on top of that cut apart right there. I'm going to cut around that heart sticker. I thought it just looked weird as a square, so I cut around it. And I couldn't remember this layout and the one that I did right before this, the pink one of my niece jumping on the trampoline. I have to find out what the date was. That's why there was a blank spot on that page and on this one as well, where I'm going to add the date in, but I don't know off the top of my head. And my sister took these photos, so I don't have them in my phone or anything to look the date up. So I'm just going to leave a spot blank on the label stickers to write it in later when I find out. And finishing up the journaling here under the photo, and that is my layout. So thanks so much for watching, everyone. Have a great day. Bye.